What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay.
And we should be good and back in live. There we are. Okay, I was making sure we were live fully. So, thank you all for joining us again on a marvelous evening of a Tuesday night. It is Tuesday, right? Woohoo!
Hello, everyone.
We have the full cast back again today. And, well, let's get started and get into this. We've had a fun little interesting session. Asker, if you wouldn't mind catching us up.
Fun and interesting, absolutely what I would say it happened. So we kicked it off by looking at a bunch of different boats, and of course, Asger, being the princess that she is, went, that boat's too small, that boat's not big enough, and that boat is just right, to the giant Roland flagship that was just sitting at the dock very conveniently for all of us. She also thought the bone ship was very interesting, and we'll come back to that in a minute. So, Asger being Asger, just walked up and onto the boat, because Asger doesn't have the best social skills, as that she's a castle-raised, very sheltered child who loves books. And so the crew tried to stop her, but as per always, her amazing Sestrava, I'm going to butcher your name every single time I say it, but probably the scariest amount of intimidation I've ever seen packed into one character is always behind Asger at this point, and just Asger's like, yeah, they really liked me. Like, he continues to do as she will. Walked down to the boat, asked to speak to the captain. The captain figure was like, are you really a princess? The runaway princess? Like, you think I'm gonna believe these lies? And Asger never really lies. She's not very good at the whole lying thing. And so convinced her by the things that she said that she was actually the princess and that they actually needed to go to paradise. The boat is called the Nefarion, which is pretty amazing. An old throwback that I appreciate from Anthony quite a bit. So the captain of the Nefarion is a descendant of Nefarion, who is this big, badass-looking dragonborn, who is questionably now has a deal with Asger that, like, might involve a marriage, might involve tax breaks. Like, she has some, like, circled notes over here of, like, it's just like, this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. But the first mate on this ship is a Eladrin, who I believe was in his Rowan form when we met him, which is the autumn form.
Kai. He was Kai when you first met him, which is his summer form.
Okay, I wrote that wrong in these notes.
You're good.
I had all the names, I just did not label them correctly at all. Asger went up to them and just went, you have a name called Aster. That's really close. We should be friends. The Eladrin wasn't as so sure about that and challenged all of us to a duel on the boat, which Shirku is the only one who really passed that test very well. I will say that Mila, in her amazing spells, also passed it pretty well and kept him exactly where he needed to be for Shirku to be amazing with the amount of times that a fighter can hit, which is a scary, scary amount of times.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit. So, Asger goes to have dinner with her new dragonborn husbando, and and like gets everyone else in there. We all explain what we're doing, and then Asger has to rip a few pages out of her journal because she's not allowed to talk about the fact that this boat flies. But everyone just found that out as the nighttime. We did a crazy magical spell on the boat, and now we are no longer sailing, but flying to paradise at, like, maximum speed.
It's not necessarily maximum. You're still going around, you know, the continent, so that way you have less people who see.
Who needs to hide the, you know, biggest secret of the country?
Yeah, why would you ever need to hide that?
doesn't want to fear the giant flying boat?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we ended the session with Shirku having a bit of a bad dream where he found out that his mother is still alive and may be dealing with some consequences of us not being there anymore. Which, that should be interesting to see where that happens. I believe it was something about a dragon of sorts and deals, and possibly sending some henchmen over that way, which, we could have absolutely nothing to do with. Like, that's definitely not our fault.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not your fault whatsoever.
Nope.
So you all find yourselves awakening in the air, starting off this adventurous day. You know that's going to take about 3 weeks as you guys travel through. Is there anything in particular as you awaken this first morning for the first time in the air that this happens?
Review the notes that I made of last night so I can remember the dream in full.
You made
Yes.
those notes, right, Shirku?
Yes, I made those notes.
Good.
Asker would be so proud.
Indeed.
And the roleplay.
What are, it's okay. What are Zastrava and Cypher up to? This has to be pretty cool for them.
Probably like watching everything and taking notes of like the ship in the air and like thinking of ways to make up some sort of like crazy fantastical song that everybody will believe is just, some sort of yield legend.
Very nice.
Cypher is probably feeding the grand flight ritual to his book.
Munch, munch, munch.
Yes.
Beyond that, Shirku
Where are
would
you
probably
feeding that?
If my book ever got with your books, you would be very sad.
Are you doing this like in your room, in your joint rooms for you guys?
I probably am, yeah.
So Asker, you might
I wake up. I know that we're flying today, so there's not much I can really do. So I would just sleep in a little bit today. This is
And
heresy.
Mila would be like pretty calm, but very much like on sort of the top deck and maybe out on the bowsprit with tail curled around and enjoying the breeze. And after some time, if Shirku doesn't come out, she may go and drop by him.
As you are flying, you do see like birds flying next to you. It almost, and you understand the different animals and stuff like that. They're very confused as to what this is and giving it a wide berth for the most part, but still like some of them end up circling it and stuff like that. You looking down, you guesstimate you're probably about 400 feet in the air, give or take. So, decently far high up. Falling would not be pleasant.
Nope. That's
No,
why the
not.
tail is wrapped around for grip.
Shirku? Did you...
Shirku would probably be silently freaking out because of that dream and wondering how to get the group to head back and go to that city.
Pirate Helm?
That Pirate Helm, sorry.
You're good.
Without actually looking a bit too suspicious. And he's not the smartest lad in the world, so it's gonna take him a good long while. But the note is still in his hand as he's looking over repeatedly.
Wait, are you just in your guys' room at the moment, or are you out on the deck somewhere?
He's probably still in his room.
Okay,
Yeah.
because you guys all had one joint room.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So ask her
Asger-
and
Asger's gonna pick up and just go, why is that book eating that piece of paper? Also, Shirku, what is that note? Did you write a note? Are you picking up writing? Am I having an influence on you?
Look, my book gets hungry. It records spells. Other books, I think the information's in it, but if I don't feed it regularly, it will find its own food.
Asger just like pulls some of the books off the floor from that word next to her bed and just like sets them in her bag and just like closes it. I've never heard of books eating other books.
and as you watch, it is legitimately eating like as he's like inserting the paper closer, the top of the cupboard like just kind of grows teeth, and like it looks like it's just.
Yeah,
just-
I'm
That
banned
seems
from a
wrong.
few libraries.
I can't imagine why that would be. But cannibalism.
So you could kill people, you could eat people, but when the books are eating books, we've crossed the line.
That is absolutely crossing the line. I'm going to have to make a note. Some things have changed all of a sudden. Cycle wizards don't seem as interesting anymore.
But yes, I did write a note.
And
But I don't think it's due to any influence. Not from the party, at least.
Oscar just goes, I would lend you one, but it just looks at certain someone's book. I don't know if they're safe anymore.
I love I've shattered Aster's world.
Well, Shirku, is there anything that you do to try and change the course or talk with? I think Mila was coming down to chat as well.
Yeah.
After she hadn't seen you in a little bit.
Yeah, she was.
hey, why don't you come up on deck? We're flying, Shirku.
Yeah. I can hear the seagulls rather close.
Mhm.
Asker's eyes light up and she runs out of the room. There's birds to go look at.
Sleep well, Mila?
I mean, yeah, we should go.
As he asks that, Shirku did not look like he had a good night. Alright,
Shirku.
I can. With that, he stands up, folding up that notes and tucking it into his armor, I suppose,
Okay.
before following. He slightly looks over towards a local wizard for a moment before continuing on, like a somewhat of a glance, trying to think on how to even change everyone's course.
Okay. And Mila will, like, look at him from time to time and see if he says anything, but otherwise lead him up on deck to enjoy the view.
Nice.
They should probably head back eventually. Sooner than
Head back
later.
where?
too.
To bed?
No, to
Tired.
Ashenbrook. I think.
But that place is filled with terrible demons and everything.
Yeah,
You don't have to live there anymore.
I just feel like wanting to double check Pirate Helm again, just to be double sure everything's fine.
I mean, is it a problem if it's not? You don't have to go back.
I don't know, but I just have a feeling. Suspicious. It's hard to
I
explain.
know you may be feeling homesick, but I think you'll really like it here.
Sure, let's chalk it up to homesickness, but I just want to be double sure.
Mila leans over and takes a deep breath. Was having a good time in general.
It's
Hoping that her friend will come to and see.
like
He's following.
I don't know. I mean, with coming to as far as mindset, because she still thinks like Ashenbrook's a terrible place. This is objectively better. Don't live here.
come
It
to
is unaware of
paradise.
other problems. Yeah. Objectively.
What's Mila's insight passive?
Do.
He's definitely hiding something, so yeah, this side opportunity.
Yeah. I guess Mila would like a chance to see if she can suss out if something's wrong. Since he seems tired.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering what your passive is. It'd be just 10 plus your insight score.
14.
You definitely can easily tell that something is bothering him, that he's just not able to really say, or at least he's not figured out a way to say it yet.
And yeah. And I guess over the course, you said it's like 3 weeks of travel?
Yep.
Yeah, Mila would try to see if he'll open up or express like something keeping you up at night. You can sleep like we're flying through the air just fine.
Ooh, I don't know what to say.
While Shirku thinks on that, how does flirtations or whatnot with the Dragonborn go?
Is Asker trying to flirt with the Dragonborn?
Is the Dragonborn on top of the deck at the moment?
Oh, no.
He's almost always on top of the deck. At the
Asker's
helm.
just gonna let her hair all the way down and just let it flow in the breeze. She's not wearing her armor, so it's just some nice clothes that she usually has underneath it.
How old is Asker again?
I don't remember. Let's look and see if I wrote it here.
I need to ask these questions. Well,
Adult, yes. I think I had her like 20 something. Let's see if I have it on the other page.
while
Is
you're
it back?
Might
looking,
be in her journal, but yeah.
while you're looking that up, Sistrava, you're the only one whose task is still relevant, because at this point they're no longer really letting the others participate in the flying of the ship. Sailing the ship, they were like, sure, yeah, we can have other people help. Flying it, they're like, no.
Yeah. Do you need me to make a performance check?
Yeah, make a performance check for the first week of travel. Very nice, very nice. 26.
Yeah, like just like adjust to like the wind in the air whipping through the sails and just spin up a nice good tune and occasionally trialing out different verses of the new song that I'm concocting of like fantasy flights through the air.
Okay, very nice. Uh, Cypher, well, anything you for the first week of travel that you want to get done? You have some downtime.
I'm probably going to try to talk to Kai.
Specifically Kai, or because as you guys do go through every single day, it's either Kai, Aster, Rowan, or Hawthorne.
Probably Kai, because that seems. I don't know if the other incarnations are as magically gifted as him.
Okay. You do see that no matter which day it is, and it goes from Aster the first day that you guys were just on, to Hawthorne, then to Rowan, and then it goes back to Kai. And it seems that it has a cycle that it goes through, it's just not necessarily related to the seasons. But you normally, as the week goes on, it looks like after 4 days, it's been through every single one of them. After like 5 or 6 days, it's like cycling pretty consistently. And no matter which day it is, all of the mages go to Rowan, Aster, Hawthorne, or Kai.
Okay.
So, but specifically Kai. So it's been about 3 days since of the travel, and then you would find Kai. Shirku, anything you're attempting to do throughout the week of downtime?
I almost want to say that he'd want to ask advice from the captain on. Shirku's a warrior. He's not much of a talker. He doesn't know how to convey things too well, and would he have any suggestions for if you need to say something but don't know exactly how to say it without causing a panic?
Okay. I'll think about how that one goes. Mila, anything you're attempting throughout this?
Mostly enjoying the breeze, but also spending quite a bit of time and slowly seeing if she can get Shirku to talk, and spending time out on the bowsprit in front of the boat and keeping an eye out for anything from above.
Okay. I just wanted to kind of gather where all of you guys were, what you guys were all thinking of doing. So back to Asker. Have you found out how... 23.
Nice.
Okay.
I forgot that SMR basically live same as humans' lives, and that's why I was like,
Sure they do. So you're just trying... Are you trying to actually make this a thing?
That's entirely up to you.
Zastrava said that deals are struck also with marriage. So Asker's like, he ain't bad. Like, he's clearly a pretty cool warrior. He is currently helping her on her quest, and all of the romance comics that were like at the back of the adventure books that she read also led to whoever helped the most with the hero or heroine was the one that they ended up marrying. So at the moment,
yes, okay.
this ship is the most help.
Please make me a persuasion check.
Well, no, we have to, this has to be long con, she has to earn this.
That's why I'm saying make me a persuasion check to see if you even get into his interest fully with that.
I'm sorry, the shipper in me is squealing. Mila has no concept, is hoping that some of these terms will make sense eventually.
So as you try to I'm assuming it's a very subtle from what it was sounding like you were going. Seems that no hints are being picked up on as far as anything.
Nice.
Gojira's just slowly changes ship's course here or there, keeping it on point, not really paying much attention.
After Asker's done flirting, she's gonna
After
go
enjoy
to break
dinner.
into Kai's room.
Okay. So you find Kai on the. It would be the third day of being in the air.
Oh, I'm looking for
Safe.
not Kai. I just want to get into his room.
That's true. But skipping over to Cypher for a second. How do you approach him to start that? He's just turned away a couple of the mages and sent them on their way. To keep the wards going.
I was impressed with how you disarmed my entire group. I was curious if you could share anything to help me keep them alive in the future.
I probably could, but it's whether or not you are capable of casting anything like that. I was told that you seem to be a recycle wizard.
Yes, but there's a goal in my life, and there's only one path to pursue said goal. I swear I only resurrect those who are willing to help.
Everyone's willing to help once you've put them down.
Oh no, I've actually, these gents were long dead before I met them. They just enjoy seeing the world of the living every now and then.
Oh.
Besides, as you can see, my companions are all more than living. I just don't believe all dark arts are that dark, actually.
Necromancy is one of those things that most would consider too foul for their tastes. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. There's just other ways that you're able to get what you want.
You know, usually a good master would teach you that. They teach you a lot of things about life, how to open certain doors for success. My master was not so forthcoming.
That dwarf of a wizard was always an interesting one. Oh, did you think I
Yes.
didn't know who your master was?
I'm not shocked you knew him. He seems to have known everybody. I seem to have only known a small portion of his life.
I've only known him for a little bit. Haven't been a part of the Arcanium for too long. I studied elsewhere before I came here.
It was good teaching by what I can tell.
Practical tests are always the best tests.
He left me with a burning question and a book that's ravenous. And I'm tackling the question right now.
What's that question?
Oh, where he hid a key. A key that is very valuable to me.
Huh. A key to what?
Secrets. Some inheritance. Yeah, just a treasure chest that's left behind.
Interesting. And you haven't used a simple locate object spell on that yet?
He clearly hit it with magic. I've tried many things to open that chest. They all have failed, some quite spectacularly.
Huh. Interesting. And so now you're coming to me to ask for spells to keep people at bay.
If I can keep these blokes alive, I think they will help me find the answer I seek.
Well-
And I've grown quite fond of a few of them.
Well, I would ask my first question. Are your spells, are you okay for casting of the abjuration sort?
I've dabbled. I can handle the fancy finger work for that type of spell.
one of the most useful. They would consider it just the basic, at least I consider it one of the most simple and useful, is a shield spell.
I can see the use of that. I sadly do not know that simple spell.
So, if I were to teach you, what would you be giving me in return?
I'm going to reach into the bag of holding and pull out the cult member's armor. I don't think we ever identified it. I don't know if this is worth anything to you, but we picked this up on an adventure. No
And
one
it's all
seemed to-
stained with blood and gory mess. He just looks at it. Is it magical?
I have not had the time to test if it's magical or not. It
And-
could be. The blokes we picked it up from definitely wielded some interesting spells.
And this was Lenora's armor, correct?
It was.
You watch as he moves his fingers, casting a spell, says some things. Do you have detect magic?
I actually don't think I picked that up yet. It's on my list of spells to someday acquire. Oh no, I do have detect magic
Okay.
now. I did grab that.
It's detect magic. It's nice, simple, and easy. Looks at it. That ain't worth the price of teaching you a level 1 spell. That's not even worth the price of teaching you a cantrip.
Oof.
Oh, I do have, and then I pull out Lenore's sword.
He looks it over. You watch as he alters the detect magic slightly, casting what you would assume would be identify. He pulls out a scroll. Yeah, give me a moment. You're going to need to understand this, I assume.
Does help with the casting of spells to understand them.
You watch as he takes a moment and seems to be with difficulty writing down writing out a spell. This should be good enough for your tongue. He gives you a scroll of shield as he puts the axe or the sword in his bag of holding.
Oh, thank you for this fine transaction. This should definitely help with how things have gone these past few adventures. And there's not been many.
That should be able to help you keep yourself a little more safe. It won't help the others, but if you're a little more safe, they're generally a little more safe.
I do agree with that statement. It's been fine working with you, Kai. I shall go study this scroll, and I will head to the shared cabin.
To go munch. Make sure you do mark off the gold cost, though, and everything for that.
Yep.
Excuse me. Alright.
Goodness.
So, Asker, you're searching for are you searching for Kai's chambers, like, to get in there? Okay.
I just want not Kai.
Okay.
Kai told me I wasn't worthy enough to go in there to read his books, so I've come to the conclusion that maybe I can con one of the other ones into letting me in to look at the books.
Okay. As you end up going, are you doing this like early in the morning before like whichever one it would be like would come out, or what time are you trying to wait for one of them it to be one of the other ones that you can just go up to them?
I'm just gonna go up to Aster when I see Aster, so like sometime
Okay.
after flirting with the Dragonborn and I see Aster.
So probably this would be the first day that you guys were in the air, because that was Aster. Hi. How can I help you? She looks at her, pulls out her book. Asker?
We have a very similar name, so I think we should be bestest friends.
Okay.
Also, I hear that you have a really cool library. Can I see it? I'll let you see mine. I have a little bit of it with me.
What part of the library are you wanting to see?
Any parts that talk about paradise?
What do you mean paradise?
The place that we're going.
Oh,
That's what Mila calls it.
the Fey Isles. Fey Isle,
Oh.
not Isles.
Isle. I always like to make sure that I'm aware of the customs and traditions and laws of anywhere that I go before I travel there. It seems rude to not know the laws, because then you'll accidentally break things. Or like this one guy I once knew who committed theft against this ancient civilization. He unfortunately lost his life, but he did help stop Master Mir, so that was a good thing.
Master Mir. Okay, that name sounds familiar. But as far as I remember for the Fey Isles, the only rules there are, no one's allowed.
Well, that doesn't seem like a very good rule. I'm gonna have to have a discussion with Mila about this. Their lack of laws seems very... blah, 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 blah. Seems very, very unnerving to me. I'm clearly going to have to spend some time writing up some new laws for them to present when we go.
But yeah, there's Anastriana, I think the name was. She banished all humans, Fae, everything from her isle. Millennia ago or something like that, I think.
Well, that doesn't seem very
that
nice.
story.
I'm gonna have to ask Mila about that one. That seems very lonely. I don't like being alone like that. I was alone like that for a long time. There were only like 2 or 3 people there that I ever really got to talk to and things. That just doesn't seem nice.
It's not. Being alone isn't pleasant. But yeah. But yeah.
Would you like some company? Are you lonely? You attempting to tell me that you're lonely?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard not knowing I have to read what happens for the others every day, otherwise I don't know what's happened.
That does seem tough.
I mean, I remember.
can try to fill in any gaps of stuff that I see and remember to help.
We're all 4 of us are pretty good about writing everything down, or at least I think we're good about writing everything down. We've been doing it for 70 years, 60 years, something like that.
Asker goes, I also write everything down. She just holds up her book.
It's a good habit to be in. It helps. You
I'm
didn't
trying to
write
teach
down
them.
about the book, right? Or about the boat, right?
No, all of those pages will be removed before I make this into an interesting book.
Okay.
I didn't write anything about it, just the stuff that's happened on it. I'm gonna spin it as some crazy fairy tale or dream or something if I ever make it into a book.
Oh,
That's my dream.
like the song that she started singing.
Yeah, we need to brainstorm together.
It's pretty. But I mean, if you want to see my library, I could. It just would. I wasn't expecting to cast. No, I don't think I canceled that spell yet.
Canceled spells?
Yeah. We don't really. We sleep on the boat, but we don't really sleep on the boat. Don't tell Gojira. He might be upset with us.
I promise I won't tell him anything. What he doesn't know isn't going to hurt him.
Okay. That's good. It's just the rocking motions doesn't do well with the change.
That makes sense.
But yeah, come on down. And she leads you into the first mate quarters. As she opens the door, it seems like you've seen Gojira's room was pretty nice. this one seems almost very bare, especially for a mage. Like, you would expect the mage to have, like, a lot of different tables and books. No books are here. But you do see there's a little rod that's stuck in the ground, and she goes up to it and is like... And she, like, reaches out, and you watch as a door appears.
You have a very interesting room design.
Yeah. And she opens the door, and... Well, you weren't there for the first mansion, but there is another magnificent mansion that has been cast. As she opens the door and leads you in, it's, right now, everything has like a bluish hue to it, and it is not as nearly as grand as the last one that you were in. There's just about 6 doors. She's like, that leads to where I practice new spells. That's for more training and moving around and sparring and making sure my forms are on point. That one's my library right here, though. And she goes and opens the door, and you see a quaint-sized library about... You just, like, seeing in it, you see it's probably about 30 feet by 30 feet room with and it goes up to about 60 feet and just bookshelves lining it of different books. These are all the ones I remember, at least. Is there anything in particular you're hoping to find?
I tend to like law and philosophy books, but I'll take just about anything. This is the nicest library I've seen in months. Thank you so much for letting me come.
No problem. Law... I mean, I know a little... I feel like you would know most of the laws that I've had to study since I've come to this world.
Do you have any laws about the world that you come from? Where are you from? Are you from the Fey Isles?
No. It's been, we don't need to talk about that place.
Okay.
It's a different world. But in here, you'll find some of the books and stuff like that. But, I mean, as said, most of the laws would be about, Rolla, and I feel like you understand all of the laws of Rolla pretty well.
I have studied them for many years. I've helped write a few, too.
The spell books are over on that side. I don't think you'll be able to understand those. But I did like to read, like, fantasy stories. Would you want...
Asker's eyes light up. I didn't think you would have any. You seem way too cool.
Yeah, and she gets out about a 3-book series that she hands the first one to you. You can stay in here for now, but when I go to bed, you're going to have to leave. I don't know if the others will let you in here.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll be here to keep you company if you want me one. Thank you for letting me read your cool series. You're so cool.
I need to go back. I have duties to do, though.
Okay.
And she leaves you to...
do a book report later.
That'd be nice. And she leaves you to go through, and as she is about to leave, she's like, I feel like Hawthorne and Rowan would probably be fine with letting you in. I just don't think Kai would.
Kai seems like the grumpy one between the 4 of you.
Grumpy would be him being nice.
That seems fair.
And she leaves you to it. Shirku, so how are you approaching Gojira as he's just going through, slowly adjusting the direction of the ship?
Oh boy. Gojira, be willing to talk.
You're already talking.
regardless, I'd like to ask a question on if you could give me a suggestion for how would you
Spit it out! As
Oh,
he
very
moves the angle of the ship slightly.
I like the voice style. It's working good for Gajiro. All right. Well, it's obvious.
Sure, you should ask how do you tell a girl like something that's difficult to say or something like that. That'll be good.
Well, let's start off with I'm not much of a conversationist, or I'm not very social to begin with.
He just kind of looks at you like, okay.
So how do you explain something to your party?
Oh, that's just kind of where my brain goes.
That without causing everyone to freak out.
I tell them, and they obey.
I love it. That'll work. All right, I'll give that a try.
Good talk.
Yes, very good talk.
And he just watches as you leave.
Yep.
Like, just kind of shaking his head, and then gets back to making sure the ship's going right. So, Shirku, what do you do after that?
Go find Mila.
At this point, it'd probably be inside, because, like, at the bunk, she would probably have spider form made a nest sort of thing to hold the plant inside, since the wind of the decks would be very bad for a little flower.
Yep.
She's probably working some little druid craft on it, helping it spawn new leaves and creating some water to tend to it.
Mila, could you help me find the others and gather them to the shared room, please?
Sure. Is something wrong?
Probably. It'd probably be best for the entire group to know.
Oh. Okay. Mila will set the plant back where it was with a few more leaves and such now, and she'll go about the boat, sort of sniffing out where everyone is.
Yep, and Shirka will look for the other people in the other direction.
Well, and I think Cypher would be in the room as well, because I think Cypher said he was feeding a scroll to his book.
Yeah, this would be probably on like day 4 when Kai's out, so Asker is not in the hidden room. Zastrava is probably found either
On deck, or...
on deck or eating, something like that. I don't know what time you're doing this at. And
yeah, so Mila comes up to Zastrava with some intent in mind and sort of motions and waits for Zastrava to be done playing her instrument or whatnot. Tail sort of flicks side to side.
I will give you a nod and wave to the sailors, do a little bow, and then follow you.
as you leave and exit the Harmony, the other 3 bards, one of them picks up where you were leaving off and takes over command of the shanty. So you're all gathered down below.
Well, yeah, and she finds Asker and leads them back to the room. Where Cypher is feeding a book.
It's a scroll this time. With the feeding of the book, yeah.
It eats everything?
Only things with knowledge or stories on it.
She just holds the book that she was reading closer to her chest.
This would not be one of the books from the mansion. Those books don't actually come out.
Oh,
Or as you try to bring one of them out, it disappears.
she learned her lesson.
Thank you for gathering everyone, Mila.
Yeah. Something's been on your mind lately.
Fair late for a couple of days yet, since I haven't been quite sure how to convey it, but I'll be straightforward instead. He pulls out that piece of paper he's had that Mila's seen him with before, opens it up, and just lays it down somewhere on the surface in front of him.
Oh, ask her. What does this say?
Asker will pick up the note and read it, and just like she's going to snatch it away and make sure she just makes very direct eye contact with the book that eats other things. Shirku, what did your note say? I know what I had a note that said of stuff, but
I forgot. I'll be honest. I forgot most of what was said, but I remember most of the gist on it.
Well, that might be very reflective of, like, because that was a sort of dream for Shirku, and so he
Yeah.
may have woken up with, like, a handful of names and, like, an
Right.
idea of some of the more threatening things.
Yeah, it basically reads as a dream. I woke up on the boat, but everyone was missing. I went to the top deck to find the sky gray, was it? Or just black?
Pretty sure it's black.
it said black in my notes.
Black with no
And-
stars.
And in front of him was a man he describes the man with, I forgot the description, so.
Just say, like, some sort of dark man, like,
Yeah,
it's
he had,
okay to have in-character memory and
yeah,
accuracy.
I do remember the black eyes, and when they do open, he spoke to Shirku, and due to a few questions, certain questions he asked, Shirku guessed right on one thing: the man of the mirrors. And that's when he actually congratulated Shirku on, and just commented on him being smarter than he looked, before opening his eyes, and his eyes looked cracked like that of a mirror. Beyond that, he talked about a deal from his mother that he had no idea what that was on about. And that he should be back in Ashenbrook slaying demons to send them off to stall or restrain someone. I don't remember the name. I never was good with names. Because Shirku had no idea what to say, he continued with mentioning his mother still being alive and sending one of the 4 from the crypts over to Pyrehelm, where she resided, to remove her. And maybe something about him being replaced, I don't remember. But that's around when it ended. The dream ended, I believe. So
Yeah,
I believe I got most of it.
that
Yeah.
was. So, Asker, you read a note containing all of that.
A little bit jumbled, a little bit incoherent, nice and dreamlike.
Yep. And since he was half asleep when writing that note, he wouldn't have gotten to the
It's not perfect and concise and everything like that, but
yeah.
it's a dream.
I have a bad feeling. In short.
Well,
And I have the feeling that this mere man is indeed definitely still alive. Or currently is alive.
You got. Or you have a proof that the Mirror Man is alive?
I wouldn't say proof, if you call dream proof. Or a vision, I suppose.
Oh, this will be really good. I think Anastriana will be able to, like, scry the dream. And that'll help her out a lot.
But I need somebody else to use it because I don't use it all the time.
And what would you do to someone who had a contract with the Mirror Man?
Asker cocks her
I
head.
don't know. Anastriana just asked me to, like, find the Mirror Man or, like, find facts about him and come back.
Asker just goes, contracts with him aren't usually a good thing. In the fables of him coming to power and things that I got to read in the secret library, those never ended very well.
And the other issue is, I thought I saw my mother die in Pyrehelm years ago.
Well, yeah, your dreams can be filled with lies all the time.
This
Which
is
is-
true.
Which is why I'm thinking this might be a bait to lure us back. But I just want to be sure. He seems to daze off a little bit, thinking on what next to say. Really,
Zestrava
Mila-
was about to say something.
I mean, it's certainly something to consider. I mean, we've gone this far on a dream, and if the man in the mirror is there, who knows what could happen. But do we turn back now when we're already weeks into our journey? Or do we come back when we have more power?
Like, Mila sort of looks at Shirku and, like, asks a bit questioningly, like, so your mother is important to you, but also dead.
I remember her being killed by a fire demon. Yes. Well, fighting that fire demon.
Okay. Is this a plant or person or
First,
child? Okay. Okay. Mila sort of, like, sits there thinking on that. Okay. But, yeah.
but
Like, once something's dead, it's dead.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also having a bad feeling about if we do go to Pyrehelm. After
Oh, yeah,
all
you
the
did
evidence.
say that you didn't want to go back to Pyrehelm, and you don't have to.
Because I have a horrible feeling that if we did, we'd find horrible trouble. Put it bluntly.
Do you have any mementos of your mother?
No. The entire city was burnt to ash, and I was still young when I had to escape the tunnels. I barely got out.
Unfortunate.
It is how I got this, though. He kind of points over to his halberd.
To his
What?
what?
Halberd.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry that all your hard work was destroyed in a fire. And she seems like very sympathetic or like understanding of
So this is a weird one. I'll try it. I want to cast Identify on the halberd.
Yeah. For every single weapon he has, he pretty much got out of the armory of the city.
And the reason why, one of the properties of Identify is you learn its properties and how to use blah blah. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are.
Huh. Interesting.
Let me see your halberd. I just want to do a little test on it.
There is nothing better than the DM of fuck, I didn't think of that.
Loophole.
So,
All right.
Is Shirku handing over his halberd to?
Yeah. I don't
okay.
mind. I don't mind handing it over.
I'm going to cast Identify on it.
Okay. Let me put can you actually, do you have it so you can pop it up into the chat?
Yeah.
I just want to see something.
But yeah, all his equipment is from Fire Helm, so.
That you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic compute object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement and how many charges it has. If any, you learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are.
If the item was created by a spell,
Yo.
you learn what. Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
That's useful.
Yeah,
I guess I could have just identified Shirku too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can identify the entire equipment he has if you wanted.
You get that it is magical. You get that it does actually have the ability to be attuned. It's not been attuned to yet. As far as what it does, you don't quite get that though. You also get that it has an old but weakened enchantment on it that affects demons a little bit more. It cuts into them a little bit better. Like, you're able to gather that, though the specifics of it, your Identify spell is not able to grasp that entirety.
Okay.
Interesting, though.
So, Shirku, the armory of your village, was it a regular armory? Just any soldier would go in there?
Yes? Why?
This halberd, it's quite special. Looks like it was you've used it well, but you've never used it.
What do you mean?
This thing was made probably to kill demons, but it's asleep. My question is, why would this just be laying in an armory as I hand it back?
He takes it and looks it over for a moment. He just looks confused now.
I'm gonna do one. I want to cast Identify on Shirku now. Shirku, I need to touch you.
Okay. Now he's looking nervous about something.
I'm an adult.
What is Shirku?
Shirku, are you letting him touch you for a little bit?
Yeah. He is part of the party, and Turku has to learn how to trust others. So yes.
One moment while I look up a spell real quick. I need to look up how this one works. I didn't expect this thing.
I didn't expect Identify to come in handy.
Oh, and that reminds me.
So many new uses for that spell.
Since we're on the topic of that dream, the reason why I think that dream is true is that I've been holding a little something of mine that I thought was a birthmark. That might be something more. You remember that other dream where I commented on smoke rising and an emblem appearing in that smoke? That smoke was a broken mirror. Or power helm. And I heard a child crying. With that, he removes his armor first, and removes his shirt, and on his chest is a form of engraving. I guess it wouldn't be. Would it be an engraving?
It would be it's kind of an engraving in your skin.
Yeah, engraving in the skin, and it looks like a shattered mirror.
It looks like the 5-star shattered mirror.
Yeah, 5-star shattered mirror.
So, identify. Cypher. I'm going to whisper you, what you find on that one. How do I do whispers?
Oh boy.
Is it...
Start stripping down. Asker's just to like cover her face, like this is improper. I've never done this before.
For whisper, do you do -W?
I think Mila's like finally putting together that like, because they've traveled together for a while, so she might have like partially seen it, but never like really thought much of it other than scarring. It's like, uh-oh.
I figured it out.
Type, yep.
And even worse, they're taking her to the pet paradise. They're taking him to paradise while he has that emblem.
Well, there you go. That's the spell. And yeah, for the most part, he's had it mostly covered. Oh, she's gone. Yeah, you've mostly always had it covered up. Just because having exposed skin means demons can stab you there.
So, Cypher's just gonna look at Shirk, who kind of like a sad face, like.
You cut out as you were saying that.
He's gonna kind of look at Shirk with like a sad, like, ooh. So he's gonna.
What's wrong?
He's gonna hold out his hand and press his Asian. He's gonna make a little house in his hand. As you can see, I hold a little house. And then it's gonna burst into flames. As you can see, it's on fire. Press it, gonna make a crackling sound, a little bit of smoke. You can see this house is burning down. There is no house. It was all fake. I don't know what's fake about you, my friend, but your memories are not your own.
That not? Now he looks even more confused. What?
It's not a practice I care for. You can reach into someone's mind and make them think whatever you want. Maybe you make them think they're great at dancing, singing. Their entire village was burned down. Problem is, I don't like this magic. I don't know what's altered. Your village could be dead. It could also be someone armed you up with a sleeping weapon and sent you on your way. I'm not saying your dream's reality, but I'm not saying it's a lie now either.
Do it. I know what you're suggesting.
Someone reached into your brain and they fucked with it, my friend.
I kind of gathered that.
I also wonder who gave you a sleeping weapon and how you wake it up, but that... You're going to need a stronger wizard than I to figure out this mystery.
And who would that be?
Well, there's one on this... Yeah.
You mean
There's
Kai's
one on
in
this
another
boat.
room.
Thoroughly trumped all of us. He's not cheap either.
Great.
So
So you're saying
you owe Master Mirror service, or
I don't know. But from the dream, it sounded like my mother made a deal with him. But now I just don't know. From the sounds of it now, it almost seems like my entire, most of my life was a lie. Has been a lie.
Let's say all of it was a lie. I can't tell what they messed with, my friend. The dangerous part of that type of magic. If you do it right, you keep enough that's real, but you change just enough that they'll believe anything.
And what do you all suggest we do?
I say we find out what was changed about your memory.
And how, and where should we find a wizard strong enough for that?
There's one on this boat. I would assume he might have a trick or two up his sleeve.
Would we trust him not to freak out or do anything?
He's pretty good with odd revelations.
Well, if you say so, let's give it a try. No point in taking a step back and overthinking things, but rather taking a step forward.
and Shirku, or sorry, not Shirku. Mila sort of looks at Shirku with like something on the mind, or like she has a question for later. I think, or well, maybe he'd have to roll insight on that, but
Well, I can.
knowing for a time.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Alright. Would that be
What
enough?
is that? Sorry, I have to pop that
It didn't
back
roll
up.
for me, so I don't know.
It's a whisper. Yeah, you definitely can pick that up. She is not that good at hiding her.
Alright.
And there's familiarity there, so.
E.
Something on your mind? Mila?
Hmm.
Nope. From the advice I
And
was
later,
gi-
I think you have a memory thing to work out.
Memories. Probably.
So are you heading to find Kai then? Is that what you guys all decide to do?
That'd be my plan.
Yeah.
Jericho doesn't have anything else. He doesn't know very many people. Speaking of, put back on the shirt and armor before anyone else takes to look at that.
Nice. He's not hard. He's not really hard for you guys to find. I mean, Cypher had seen him not too long ago on top of the deck directing the mages. He's on the base of the deck just watching over. He actually is right now on the side just looking down, enjoying the fun breezy trip.
Wasn't Kai the one that Shirku asked earlier?
Yep.
Yep. This is
Oh
gonna be
no,
awkward.
not Kat. That was
Oh,
Gojira.
Yeah. That was good too. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
That's Asger's dumb husbando.
He
Oh,
watches.
Kojira, okay.
He watches as you all approach and. What is it that I can help you with?
I guess I should be the one leading this question. I'm not a fan of it. As I told you, not all dark arts are evil, but this one I do find particularly heinous. Our fine friend here Someone seems to have altered his memories magically.
Oh.
Someone, not me, appears to have altered his memories magically.
I only know how to tell when it's happened, how to recover what was lost or changed. Not really dabbled in that.
I know of some ways that may be useful depending on the capacity of which it was changed.
Oh, I want to say I feel real quick as they were going near Kai, Cypher was probably like, don't tell him about the magic weapon.
Never wasn't planning on it.
So are you looking to hire services to retrieve your memory? As he looks at you, Shirku.
Well, a step forward is better than just contemplating what to do next. For months on end.
Huh. And what do you have to offer for trade for the services?
Magical wise, I'm not quite sure. I don't use magic.
A spell of this capacity would be on the same capacity of, well, destroying the air around a creature and blowing up about 20 creatures. It's not a spell of simple enchantment.
Then the better question would be, what would you be wanting to ask for trade? Since I clearly don't have much to offer.
If you have any other magic items, maybe something of that value. If you have enough gold to cover the expenses and resources and then some, maybe that.
What if I write an IOU that will be effective at the castle next time that you go see Galen?
I just have to fix you a bit later, Shirku.
Gaelic is already. I don't need any more from Gaelic Iron God.
Are you sure?
Chime in. We did pick this up on our last adventure. I'm gonna pull out the mirror shield.
You watch as he casts Identify.
Hi.
I was interested in that one.
I need to pick up Identify more often.
I'm not saying we have to trade it, but it is a magic item we have.
This would be a worthy trade.
I feel it's up to you though, Aster, as I feel this was more suited in your court.
What does it do? I still didn't really dig into its,
Do you guys know what it does? Did anyone cast Identify? Nope, okay.
Never. You think I have Identify? You think I'm some sort of nerd?
Striker doesn't use the shield, so he doesn't care.
Asker just goes, will you tell me what it does before we agree?
For the princess, sure. It's a simple enchantment shield for the most part. It has the ability to block a little bit more than most things. But once a day, you're able to reflect a spell that targets just you, a 4th level or lower, and redirect it back at the caster.
We also have 250 gold.
I have 14 gold at the...
If you're looking to pay the monetary value, you're going to be looking at about the cost of about 1,000 gold.
Oh.
Dude.
We're on the top of the ship, right?
Kind of in there's the top where you have like the different parts there, but like you're kind of in the middle of it. Gojira's.
I can see Kojira, yes?
Yes.
Hasger's just gonna turn. Kojira, can I get a loan from you? I'll pay it back.
That's not. But
That
and while they're doing that, Mila's sort
Really?
of conveys like,
I like
I
the sheet.
don't know
I
how
don't want to
to
give it up.
teach magic, but could I show you magic?
Go before you're able to fully get that out. Gojira looks down. What type of loan do you need?
I need to pay Kai like 1,000 gold so that we can get Shirku's memories back. And I can
Shirku,
keep my shield.
You
Shirku just rolls his eyes and kind of looks to this guy like, oh, come on.
You watch as he blinks, looks at Kai.
What spell are you even using?
It's just a simple remove curse.
Oh, is it a magical curse? Like Mila will ask when I said it's remove curse.
The type of spell that this is a modify memory. It's a 5th degree variant. It's only once you know about it, though, it's not hard to get rid of. It just requires expenditure of a certain level.
Give me Mila will go, Shirku.
Hmm?
Let me try to cut through it. But put anything magical aside. Can try to munch through cheating. And Mila's sort of like bouncing a little bit in front.
Kai's just kind of watching over this and like a little more interested after hearing that. What are you going to try and do, little one?
And cut through the cheating.
And how do
Magic's just temporary, so you just claw through it and it comes apart. She'll like do a motion that doesn't seem very enlightening.
Huh. Enlighten us. Let's see what you have.
And she waits for like Shirku to put aside other magical things before she'll try seems like trying to claw through there in front of him and try to like grab at magical strands to try and dispel magic. And so for spells of 4th level or higher, I make an ability check with
Yeah.
spell.
This technically does not qualify since the magic's already been done. It can only be removed by greater restoration or remove curse.
Fair enough.
Good try, though.
Mila still tries, and maybe Kai or whoever can see that she's like trying to grab at the magic a bit. I don't know exactly how to make it roll that spell check, but I know it's a +7 bonus.
Yeah, so just roll a d20 plus. That wouldn't be a bad idea if it was being cast currently. Your main problem's going to run with the magic's already being done.
Oh.
You need something like remove curse or something to that extent.
Oh, it's like after the fireball is done,
Yes.
I can't pull the fireball apart. And now he can see that she maybe there's some fey intuition on the threads of magic pulling apart.
So
Why don't
I'm sorry,
you just...
Shirku.
Sorry. Why don't you just go and give them the discounted rate?
250 gold is what you said.
Our life savings.
250 gold it'll be.
I hand it over. I also give Asker the shield, like, you're gonna take this, because I am horrible at bartering.
Apparently. Yeah, yes.
You watch as he looks and starts to cast a spell on you. He pulls out some ingredients and rubs them on the side of your face. And then he puts his hand on your head as he says words in a different language that none of you understand. Shirku, your thought, your mind is launched back to that day. The day of the flame, the day of the demon, the day of the attack.
Right.
Except the flame and the demon are no longer there.
Huh.
It's only your mother and this other dark gentleman in a dark leather coat, eyes pitch as black. As he gives her a halberd that she then gives to you. As he gives her a potion that she then forces you to drink. And then you run. You run as she tells you, now run, my little dear. Run, Shirku. Run as fast as you can. As you run and run into the woods, never to see Pyre Helm again. And then you're back on a ship, surrounded by your new friends.
Shirku blinks for a moment, and then slowly his eye twitches a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, remember when that guy?
He doesn't seem really to say much of anything, but just kind of glares a little.
That should have removed any sort of things affecting his memory. If there was such a thing.
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I essentially said, if you fucking mess with me.
So, is there anything else you need from us?
Oh, thank you, Kai.
I hope not.
Good.
Correct answer is
No,
you hope not.
leave my presence if you wouldn't be so kind.
Again, thank you. And
So I was like, as soon as you came back,
until never. Good day.
And he's just gonna go back to enjoying watching the sea hundreds of feet below. Esker, as you kind of are as you guys are turning away, you do get a glance up at Gojira, who's just like, good. You can just see him like nodding as he goes back to adjusting the sail.
Asker just yells up, "Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll be over for dinner tonight."
He just kind of growls in affirmation of hearing you.
Also, Asker would take the fancy shield and she would give you her old one, but she would take a knife and like initial it and be like, "This was made in the palace and now it's initialed by the princess. It should be worth something."
Woo!
So you all
Sure.
return down to, I'm assuming, the chambers before continuing any more conversation?
Shirku would. He has some things to gather his thoughts on. Especially since the fire was an illusion in his head.
So arriving back, it's again Shirk.
It worked.
You okay there, buddy?
A little bit irritated. But otherwise, I'm alive. To give the short, to say what I saw on when it started was, it was around when I was told to run.
From what?
Nothing. I was just told to run. I was given a potion, forced by my mother, and she told me to run. Standing next to her was the mere demand.
Oh, so now you have memory proof of Mirror Man.
Seems that way.
Was your
Why she-
mom his minion?
I'm not sure. But why she'd want to make a deal with her, I'll never know. But now I know I had a bad feeling about Fire Helm. It wasn't about the demons that I was afraid was going to be there. Something else.
So what? Does that change things now?
We keep moving ahead.
Yeah.
No hesitation, no stepping back, just a step forward.
Yeah. And Mila's more excited and like, yes. And now I have proof
I
that
don't-
the goddess wants.
I don't do well to betrayal.
I don't think any of us do.
Okay. So you guys continue the path of heading to paradise? Or the Feyisle? Depending on who's be calling it.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I forgot to mention. I look over to to our dark wizard over there, who I keep forgetting the name of.
Cypher?
Cypher. Through that same image, it seemed I remember where this helmet came from. My mother gave it to me.
Oh,
At the very same time she told me to run.
huh.
Would they be tracking you with it?
You didn't get any divination magic at all from it as you identified it. I will say
No.
that.
It's just a sleeping weapon. They're kooky weapons. Think of it as you have to earn the respect of your weapon, and it will get closer with you. Like a book that likes to eat things. You just feed it the right thing, and you become good buddies.
You
I get
feed
the
your
feel-
book the wrong way. You're just supposed to write knowledge in it, not let it literally eat things.
Oh, I tried that. It went horrible for that poor pen. But I don't know much about these things, Shirku, but I get the feeling that weapon might be the key to that entirely crazy event.
Most likely, yes. And I'll keep holding it to use against those who gave it to me.
Question for you, Shirku. Are you going to try attuning to it now that you know it can be attuned to?
He has no idea how to do it.
It's a D&D thing.
Yeah, you would know that you're able to attune to different magic items by spending time and actually focusing on trying to make the connection with it.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Let's give the mere demand the beacon that he so wants about. He just regained his memories. He knows what's going on.
It is, as you attune to it, you find that it is a +1 halberd. It has a simple enchantment that's not the core part of it, but it's been added on. It deals an extra 1d8 damage. You now know it deals an extra 1d8, or halberd is a d10, isn't it?
Yeah, Halbert's D10.
Yeah. It deals an extra 1d10 damage to any demon that it strikes. Demon, devil, fiend catalog of creature, since they're all basically the same in this world. It deals an extra 1d10 damage to any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And at the state that it's in now, as you attune to it, that is all.
So it has to be fully awakened and regained on its power. Cool.
I wasn't expecting you to find out that it was attunable anytime soon. Very nice.
Very nicely done on the Haxler cipher.
Random spells for the win.
Oh yeah.
Asker's going. I assume I have to attune to that shield, Anthony. Just
No.
double checking for mine.
It is.
Oh.
Also, you guys, I do think I have it in the things, but I don't make you keep track of how many attunements you have.
Okay.
See, I took detect magic, but I'm like, identify sounds kind of nifty. Like, if you want the nitty gritty of what you're getting.
Both are nice.
So +1 adds to +1 to damage or +1 to attack.
Both are nice.
Yes.
Oh, both. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
Asker now has AC of 20. I've done it.
Nice.
Da-da-da.
Asker, speaking of you, since I know you're the one with the main thing that's going on throughout this 3-week trip.
Well, she also has like a question to ask Mila, I guess, but yeah, mostly Asker featured.
Yeah, I just know Asker has something she's doing this evening as she tries to go to the captain's quarters and have dinner with the captain again.
I'm going to.
Asker gave it a few days, and now she's like, it's about time for us to go on another date.
Oh my god.
Is Asker being like indirect with her advances about trying to say like it's a date or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Then I will let you know throughout the entire time, nothing really. He accepts your company and treats you as a princess, as that you are. But nothing else happens.
Asker thinks that things are happening in
Yep.
that weird gray area in Asker's mind.
Yep. And that's fine. And that's about all that happens. Throughout the weeks, Mila, you seemed like you had an interaction with Shirku you would have liked to have at some point.
At one point, like, up on the docks, or, up on the bow, sort of, Shirku comes by, you know, says hi, sort of twitching question. Eventually, she sort of asks, and it's just like, do you want to serve Master Mirror or things?
After the given life I've led, and clearly the threats he gave me over the dream, I'd say no.
Okay. And she seems really relieved with that,
So,
and sort of relaxes from there.
were you worried?
Hmm?
I would.
I mean, you let him scar you, right? And he's like in your dream space, so there's like a part with you.
I don't think I have any control over that, since the scar I believe I had for a while, and I can't really get rid of that. I just have to live with it.
And I think you're really cool, and I think that you'll be happier at home. And she'll kind of yawn.
He thinks, yeah. We'll see. And it's been great traveling with you, Hila. You've been a great companion.
Yeah, and you have like very good senses and everything. Very good senses, very good instincts, and you've been training your body, and it really shows. Like, you actually put in the hard work to hone yourself as a person. She'll like make sort of play fighting motions and everything, and like I think everyone at home will think that you're really cool.
Oh, is that so?
Mhm.
And just for mimic playful thing, he just flexes, kind of does a flex of his muscles just to show off a little bit. Is that
Yeah,
so?
Nice.
Yeah, that's a lot of real hard work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's more to come in the future. So, work's not done yet.
Yeah. And I'll get to make the goddess happy, and everything will be great. And she'll.
Up so.
Yeah.
Let's keep
She
going.
told me to find Master Mirror things, and you're a Master Mirror thing.
I just hope she doesn't take that in the wrong way.
Alright.
What's worse, like, she can't banish you again.
Oh, she might do worse. She might do worse.
What could be worse than being banished from paradise?
Killed.
I mean, death just happens, Shirku.
It does, but it's still worse than banishment. If she can't fight back and you're just straight executed, that's not really fighting against what may kill you. How is it? That's not much of a death.
Okay.
She tries to think on, like, assuaging his fears of death, but nothing seems to come to mind. And so she waits maybe for a demonstration later with some plants and stuff. Give the birds and the bees equivalent of the life and death talk.
The circle of
joy.
life talk. Okay.
Oh, he knows that very well, considering he's been killing demons.
But she
a lot.
doesn't have a lot of stuff on board, and she doesn't want to hurt the lily that she's been slowly druid crafting into a nice little oomph.
Zastrava, do you want to ask anything else from you for the trip as you guys are going?
I guess if there's any like further lulls or anything, I'll go up to whoever the current mage is appearing as and ask what they know about. Is it Anastriana?
Anastriana.
And see what sort of lore I should prepare for.
The autumn colored female, Rowan, as you approach. Oh, hi, how may I help you? How can I be of a service to you? Is there anything you need?
Well, I've sung many songs about Rolla and some of the continent of the north, but I haven't yet heard any songs or great tales or too much of Anastriana. I know we're going to meet her, and I've heard some very biased tales from a small reptile lizard thing. So.
I mean, your
Camila.
songs your voice is very beautiful. It's a pleasure to have you on our ship with us. But
do you know of Anastriana?
only what I've been told by Gaelic. And well, I never asked any of those questions myself.
She doesn't
It's more
like
of
people.
It's more of Kai's notes. He was very curious about everything of this world. But she's a very pleasant. She banished everyone from the isle.
From an entire island, like continent-sized island.
her and Gaelic never really got along a lot. They didn't see eye to eye. What else is there of? But I'm sure she has to be adorable. Like, I mean, you don't have a wonderful island and not be adorable and a pleasant person, right?
I'm sure. And anything Gaelic recalled, was there ever anything that she liked?
She did. I believe she liked to collect flowers. Something about collecting flowers to give to a gravesite of. I think she had a dead lover at one point. I know she's a very powerful druid. I don't know if there's really a druid out there that's stronger than her.
That's good to know. If we have to present something, at least I can come up with something from that, perhaps.
But yeah, I know that no one really goes. I'm actually kind of worried about this. I'm gonna have to make sure everything's in tip-top shape. There's so much work to do. There's always so much work to do. But I enjoy it. Making other people's days easy. Is there anything I can do to make your day easier?
You froze.
No.
You froze there, Rin.
Oh, my internet connection is unstable.
Oh no.
That's not good.
Oh.
No. But I will place a hand on her and cast like Owl's Wisdom or something on her and be like, may your tasks be slightly easier today. And then go on my way.
Thank you.
Probably like helps this much.
+2 wisdom is a plus, or advantage on wisdom is advantage on wisdom.
Exactly.
And you watch as she goes about, and all the other mages like generally don't do a lot of like the manual. Like she's actually helping polish like the cannons, make sure that all the powders easily act. Like she's helping everywhere she can with that.
Awesome. And I guess I'll join in too and like offer like a mage hand or like whatever I can here or there to help keep things going.
Okay. Cypher, throughout the travel, anything from you for the last little bit of the...
Every time I've gotten involved, it's cost me things from my bag of holding. I am just staying in my room and existing.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, well, unless anyone else has anything else to add at this point, I think we can cut to the... Because there's nothing much that challenges you guys in the sky. Nothing, like, there are some things that come close, but then they, like, see the ship, and if it's something that is of danger, like any of the creatures, you have 50 cannons. There's nothing that challenges you guys in the sky right here.
But I wanted to fight a Thunderbird. No.
50 cannons each side.
Does Asker end up asking about the story, or is Asker busy yet?
Asker, absolutely. She's gonna fail at flirting and then ask about the laws.
Oh, she multitasks.
Asker,
tradition?
Asker, as far as Asker knows, succeeds perfectly on the flirting.
Yeah, she thinks it's going great. Like, every couple of days she goes for dinner. Like, he hasn't asked her to spend the night yet, but that's fine.
Oh yeah. I mean, and there's always, you know, your traditional types. No worries. So you ask about the rules and traditions?
Yeah. Asker goes, so I hear that you only have one law, which is that no one's allowed there.
Oh. There's a lot of banished. It's obey the goddess, which they didn't do. And, well, actually, it's all just, like, the strongest makes the rules, and Anastriana is the strongest. Aside from that, it's a lot of rules of survival, and she'll, like, sit you down and, like, shift her face a bit, and it's like, whenever you see this one, with the frills on the side. You want to make sure to, if it seems to rear back, you want to cover your nose and eyes because it's going to spit acid in those. That'll make you blind for a bit. But they're pretty small and they scare easily if you yell at them. And they usually move in small packs. If you see the one that's like this, and she'll shift again to a sort of longer nose that has no arms or legs, you'll want to put like a mage or like Cypher in front, because they like to bite magic people. And yeah, and they'll just hold a bite for a while, and it'll knock them out for like a day or two. But while they're still latched onto that person biting, you can hack them up. They don't move in large groups. And it's not like your magic users would be useful against them anyway. Their hide doesn't, or their hide resists magic, so you just put your mage in front. Cypher does not like this.
Long nose ones. Use Cypher as shield. 1 to 2 days. No large groups.
Yeah, because yeah, what they're supposed to do is they hunt down mages, they bite them and knock them out, and take their time swallowing them whole.
We're not going to be sacrificing any of our time.
But
This
as long
seems
as you have
I said this
So-
seems like quite the interesting place.
so yeah, you don't, if you're small and you're weak, she like points at you, like, you don't travel alone.
Asker just like pokes herself. She's like, I mean, it's very thin muscle.
I think she was she pointing at Asker, or was she pointing
yeah,
at...
was pointing at Asker, because presumably, I don't know, like, Cypher said he's staying in the room, and this is like up on the bow where Mila's usually hanging and Asker's chatting about. So Cypher doesn't know yet.
My ears are tingling.
Yep.
You just
You get that
sneeze.
sneeze.
Yeah, you just sneeze and go, someone must be talking about
And
me.
oh, and if you see these really, really little ones, I know that you're prone to like liking cute things. If you see these really little ones that are like the size of your hand, and she'll like kind of hold up your hand, like 1 or 2 of them is okay to be around, but when they're in large groups, they go into a blood frenzy, and they'll bite you, and they don't hurt a lot, but you can't heal the wounds with magic, so they can shred you pretty easily.
Asker just nods her head and she's like, I mostly like birds. Are they like birds?
Oh
That
yes,
would get
we
me
do
in trouble.
actually. The Argentavis, well, they're really large. They actually can carry around raptors if needed. They're huge, and she just like tries to convey like a bird with greater than a 5-foot wingspan. Mm-hmm.
Asker goes, I want to see one of those, but from a safe distance.
You don't. If you can see them, they can see you, and that's a bad place for you to be, Asker. Because if you see the Argentavis, then that means the Skyfolk can see you too, and that is not a safe place for you to be.
Skyfolk?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The ones that raise and tame the Argentavis.
You mean that we can find people who ride them?
Oh yeah. They can carry a few.
Crosses out, no see them.
But yeah, they're meant to protect us from the sky so that if the humans tried to sneak in from above, we can tear them apart.
Why would the humans want to sneak in?
It's a damn shame Cypher's not there, because overhearing this, he would be like a giant flying airship coming towards the island. He's not there to save
I
it.
mean, he could be walking around.
Maybe maybe Cypher walks around, maybe like with that sneeze, he's like, oh, it's too dusty in here, and he wants to come up and join the conversation.
There you go.
Casually after hearing about like seeing Mila doing like some sort of weird hopping like feathery bird impression.
It is a big ship, but it is a ship.
Serendipity happened here. Cypher's just like, you get over here, that he's just gonna look like Mila. You do realize how many of these things does this island have? I have to ask.
Oh, many of them.
You do realize we're approaching your island in a man-made giant flying ship.
Yes, I was hoping to suggest that when we get closer, that we approach on the sea, because that may be a bit less threatening.
Go tell Godzilla right now.
That shark who just walks past, getting some fresh air at this point.
And sorry, the Argentavis, and she'll like sort of shift the feathers on her arms, tend to have like these colors, and she'll show like neutral like whites, grays, and such. If you see,
they're perfectly blended into the sky colors.
Argentavis?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What are those?
Oh, the giant birds. And she'll like indicate. And they help like carry the Sky Knights and everything.
Sky
Guard
Knights?
the island.
Sky
Very
Knights?
nice.
So they're tameable. So these things are tameable.
I mean, bondable. You can
It's like the Avatar movie.
So we can bond with one
One could hope.
and just fly around with
Oh no. No.
Ask her
I don't think
head
they would let you have any of the eggs.
one.
Because there are precious children.
I'm going to die.
But I obviously take very good care of the precious
Right,
child.
Cypher. Wait, who am I supposed to tell? Wait, what am I supposed to tell Cypher?
Don't get eaten.
Please
Oh,
tell
yes.
the captain of the ship there are very big angry birds who will perceive the ship the wrong way.
With Sky Knights on top of them. That's so cool. I'm so
Which
excited.
one's the captain?
The giant draconi.
Oh,
the dual great.
the cool one.
Yes,
yes.
that one.
Yes.
Tell him out front and just tell him about the damn Sky Knights.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
baby.
Oh,
Pretty
and
sure-
yes, and I had more rules for you, Asker, on the critters. Oh, and I guess you can tell them too, but I'll be right back. And she's like, sort of hopping about, like, I'll be right back. Then she heads off.
Shirku looks over at his other companion. Go. You thinking what I'm thinking about those flying birds?
Joining a Sky Knight order? Absolutely. I am the most excited for this.
Joining
This
the
place-
Sky Knight order? No. We can actually fly on one of those things and go anywhere we want.
I
can go
think
anywhere
you
we
mean
want this boat.
more realistically, they're going to pick one of you up, fly off into the sunset, and we will find a clean pile of bones eventually.
Oh no, they eat the bones. And then she'll run back.
Well, of course they do.
Well, it's still worth an attempt if we see one.
Oh yeah, and so she'll go over to
Go
the
Jira.
Dragonborn captain, Gojira. It's like, oh hi. Cypher wanted me to tell you that at the island there are large, and he called them angry birds, and so we should approach the island on the sea to be less threatening.
So we need to land.
Like once we're close to the barrier, yes.
Are you saying we should land at the fog wall or after the fog wall? I'm assuming the fog
Can
doesn't
I roll
cover.
in character for this? Because I don't.
You know that on the sea there is actually like a line of fog that surrounds the island.
Okay, and is that before or after the seawall?
That would be before.
Okay. Right about there is pretty good.
Okay. Sure. And when we have to deal with whatever sinks the ships, I'll just make sure I'm ready to blow them all up.
I will. Yeah, I'll have a. I'll be at the bow line and see if I can talk to them. But yes.
Why do I have a bad feeling suddenly?
That you're at an island that enforces its border control regulations. Yes.
Joker just says this to the group. Why do I have a bad feeling suddenly? I just had to shiver.
And Mila will go back and it's oh yeah. Oh, and ask her. You do not eat the blackberries that you see. A lot of the other berries are fine. Mostly.
Mostly.
My
I mean,
greatest
there's some
gift
are
of-
better than others.
My
What's
greatest
wrong with the
gift
black
of magic to this group is common sense.
Oh yes, this is what happens when we don't have a paladin or a a sensible face of the party.
There is Paladin.
Practical
was gonna say-
magic.
I am a paladin.
Oh, that's right. I keep on thinking that we have two bards. I'm sorry. Something flirting
great.
with the dragonborn. Oh, the black ones will just make you fall asleep, and if you're asleep, then you are very munchable.
Good to know. So, if we're landing the ship, is there anything about the sea we should know about?
Oh, yeah, in the sea there are the leviathans that watch over that, which is why ships wreck near the island.
Now, I don't know what those are, but I know they're trouble.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
we
we have
had to
the
pick
most source.
between, like seeing the pretty bird with the Sky Knights, could we reason with the Sky Knights to get to the island safely? Or are the Leviathans more likely to, like, work with us?
The Sky Knights are very reasonable, but they're also very strict, and they yell at you all the time. The
I'm here
Leviathans,
to have a better chance with them. Maybe we should keep flying.
but they're very serious about their duty, and so if they're like the humans are attacking, and then they'll destroy. And the birds have beaks like this, like this big, like head size.
Please tell me that I don't breathe fire too.
No, we're working on that.
Wait, what? You're working on it. But what?
We know the
Very good.
humans are going to try and come in someday, so we have to make defenses.
Asgard just goes to, do we look like we're coming in as a threatened object?
Well, we have 100 cannons on this flagship. What? It's a warship on that matter. What do you think?
Maybe we can like come in on a rowboat.
Well, yes, we'll have to we'll have to talk with both of them at the sea gate, or seawall, and leave the big boat here. Then we can go inside with small group.
You're just on the main deck. Kojira, do we have small flying boats?
And at this point, if Mila can start to smell familiar things on the wind, she's definitely much more on deck, looking up, looking down, and sort of giving squeaks in the water of saying hello.
Nice. You aren't too close yet, but you're getting there. You're almost to the fog. You're probably about a day out from the wall of fog. Hearing some of your conversation, Kai walks over.
Uh-oh.
So how about we just give you a boat that you can row yourselves on, and we'll go and alert Rolla about the issues. Would that work for all of you?
On that note, wouldn't these leviathans see the small rowboat as tasty?
Yeah, that's why I've been trying to speak with them. But they're also very sleepy, so maybe okay.
Good thing we have a bard on our side then.
I don't think I can speak Leviathan.
No, but maybe soft music would put them to sleep.
I could
do play
try
very
that.
Do you want up
You
here,
just
Peter?
have to be boring. Like they like puzzles and riddles and like secrets and stories. But if you're boring, then it's okay.
So does that work for you all then? And we will let you go about your business reaching the Fayal?
Do the rowboats fly, Kai?
No.
That seems like a problem.
Why would they fly?
Because we're in the sky. It seems like a breach of safety rules and regulations.
You,
And
You need
how
to
would
have
they
at least
fly?
I don't. How is this boat flying?
Why don't we ask our wizard? He saw the process.
Trade
I think he is
secret.
the process.
They trade secret. There you go.
Well, then shouldn't they have trade secret rowboats? What if we came into issues during air and we needed to abandon the main ship?
While they're doing all that, Mila will like nod. It's like, yeah, a small boat would be good.
okay.
And is there anything else besides the leviathans we should know about?
Well, yeah, I've been telling Asker about when we get to the island, about your rules of survival.
In the sea.
I mean, yeah, people that live in the water too. Like I said, they really enjoy like secrets and puzzles, and they like thinking about that. But they're pretty creepy.
You watch as Kai pulls out a blue crystal, tosses it at Asker. For when you're on the island, if you end up needing any assistance, just crack that, and within a minute or so, I should arrive. That way I can also get you off the island if you need help with that.
We really appreciate all of the assistance that you've given us.
That is from my orders that I was supposed to give that to you.
I really appreciate all the assistance you've given us.
Uh-huh.
Yes, indeed.
Well, we're going to prepare for the descent. We should be at the wall of the fog in about a day, which means we need to be ready to go down to drop you all off. Are you going to need us to... How far do you need us to help you through?
Be able to get from there.
I guess like Mila has her not her class ability, but her background ability, Wanderer. So
Yep.
like based on that, how close would she need to be?
You know
Because she
that...
can probably start to smell or like maybe be able to tell like the direction that land is in.
Yeah, you would know that the wall of fog is about 2 hours of boat travel thick.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main ways, and normally the Leviathans attack while you're in that. That's their normal spot that they roam, just to keep ships away from it.
Yeah.
It's times like, none of you are really seafarers, so you wouldn't really know too much about how the sea goes around this side.
Yeah. If nothing else, I think I can hop out of the ship and with the powerful tail, like kick the
Yeah.
ship vaguely in the right direction. So Mila will think about it. It's like right at about the fog wall. I don't want to get the ship too close to it because this would be a target.
Understood. I'll go let Gojira know. This is gonna be the last night you all have on this ship. I hope you've enjoyed it. And he's gonna walk off.
He's really nice.
Got so much money from us.
He wanted more, and yes, he seemed like a swindler, if that's the right word.
No.
Asker's gonna go to Zastrava and just be like, "It's going really well with the captain. I think I'm gonna have dinner with them again because it's the last night that we'll get to see each other for now. Also, they gave us this crystal. That definitely means that he's thinking about us. Specifically me, though.
About us? I mean, I'm sure he is. He is the captain of your navy, who you'll be directing in the future. So,
And
all is good there.
I don't think he's thinking of you in the way you think he is.
I think that you're just jealous that you're not dating the captain of the fleet.
I'm not. No. Just no.
I kinda
Are you
feel
building
like
affections,
this.
Asker?
It's like if your boss showed up to your house and said, "Hey, I heard you're having dinner and I would like to join you, and I brought some friends."
Yes.
Asker.
Yes?
Asker, when you go to dinner, like, the captain's been really nice and listening, so I have a present you should give to him.
That sounds
And-
like a good plan.
Mila, like, goes back to the shared room, and she'll druid craft a bloom from the white flower and guide it off and hand it to Asker.
Asker's like, I'll make sure that he gets it.
Thank you!
Okay.
And Mila will go back and she, like, at this point, with this close, she, like, starts to taking to napping on the ship's bow, like, twisting a tail fully around it and sleeping out there.
Interesting.
Strava just walks off, like, muttering about, like, just ineptitude, depths of ineptitude,
Nice.
and just, like, worried about the future of the kingdom.
This is going to be a very long 3 weeks, isn't it?
No, we're already, like, at the last day.
That's not a way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He straight up meant the entire stay on the island.
It's a bit better than this time.
So, as you go to dinner with Gojira, you give him. How do you present the flower to him? I need to know how you're presenting the flower to him.
You're just setting that up, Mila.
Well, and she's not doing it intentionally, because already I was thinking, like, Mila kind of wants to give Kai and the Dragonborn, like, a flower in appreciation, because that's, like, a very friendly thing, and now it's like, oh, convenient, I can cause translational things, possibly maximum havoc. Not Mila's thoughts. Mila's like, I need to give present. Oh, give present, thanks.
Nice.
I'm just like, this is a good time.
So as she like comes into the room, she goes, I brought you a present this time.
I do it.
She like, pulls out the flower and goes, Mila made this as an appreciation gift, but I'm here to make sure that you get it.
He like reaches, accepts it in his hand. And is it just like this bloom of the flower, or is it like the entire stem of it? Like, how did Mila do that? I know
It
it,
would just be
the
a
bloom.
flower bloom.
Okay. He like sets it very gingerly down because big hands. He's like, what do you think is happening here?
Well, when we got onto this... Sorry.
I'm so glad Shoko's not here to hear this.
When we got onto the ship, Zastrava mentioned that royals sometimes pay for things via marriage. And so I figured that if that was how this was being handled, that at least we should date before that. And you're really quite interesting. And I've had a wonderful time on your ship so far. I really like that we've taken things slow like we have. You know, you paying attention to me as I have my hair blowing in the breeze on the top decks of the ship, having dinner where we could, you know.
I'm surprised he's like pushing that far right yet.
He barely missed it. Princess Irongard.
Yes, darling?
So, just
I've
to
been building
avoid
the curse.
anything, a strong wind blows Cypher and Shirku off the boat. Craziest damn thing ever.
As Shirko's falling, he shouts, "But I can't swim."
Oh. If you wish to date or marry me, you're going to have to get approval from your family. That is not what we've been doing. You are... I apologize if I led you on.
This is how it worked in all the fairy tales. The one that helps the heroine princess is usually the one that she ends up with at the end, and they get married, and then there's that page that just says, happily ever after. So I figured at the end of the adventure, I'd figure out what happily ever after was.
Internal screaming.
Like, Dragonborn anatomy is different than human anatomy, but the rubbing of, like, you just...
Asger's just
Get off of my ship! Just get off!
There's a very like long 5 minutes where he just like drinks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, hey Asgard, I think you broke his brain.
He drinks like a. Like, there's this giant glass,
Flagon.
and then there's the keg. And he just picks the keg up at this point and just.
Yeah, I think you straight broke the guy.
just makes a note in her book, just may have a drinking problem. We'll have to discuss.
When you return to Rolla, if you wish to actually be serious about this, then you will talk with your parents first. Yes, I am not taken, but you have much to experience before you start looking at marriage. You have been coddled for your entire life.
I love that he isn't saying no.
I do too!
This is a lot of words for saying no, but this is also like a very like mature and like wizened thing. Like I'm seeing like I'm like standing this like he has a lot of like the worldly sensibility and experience that we are lacking.
I can only think of one thing right now. And this epic campaign ends with him going, and that's how I met your mother.
Very nice. Now, as for now, I believe you should take your plate and go to your room and actually think about what you want with the rest of your life.
Not to die.
Out now.
Oh, there it is.
Asger takes her plate. And she
State
goes-
success.
Oh,
Asger
hi.
comes back into the bunk room just holding a plate. It doesn't have anything on it. Just holding a plate.
Dirk? I'm guessing everyone's back in their rooms now at this
Basically,
point.
it's like dinner time, and like you guys do have enough room for, like
I think Mila's still like nervous and like on the bow and everything, but IRL, I need a drink.
Go for it.
Not
You're
an
good.
alcoholic, but like,
I
Oh,
think I
geez.
need the alcoholic version of that.
Yeah. What's the look on Asgard's face right now? She's holding
Asgard
it
has
in
this
place.
mix of like she's upset, but she's holding it together. It's just this very like disappointed look in her eye. She's just gonna sit on her bunk with her plate on her lap and just gonna like pull open her book and just write something in there and just slowly close the book, put it back down, and just stare at the plate.
Shirku finally comments, looking at this. Why do I feel like we should get away from the ship as fast as we can?
So, the Strava, you know, having spent many nights in taverns and like seeing this or something somewhat in the same vein play out thousands of times, just like come up behind Asger and like pull her close and just like rub her hair and be like, I'm so sorry. I did not mean it like that.
oh, what
I
did
meant-
he say to
I meant-
Strava?
Sometimes you arrange strategic marriages for the person you're doing favors for, not that you have to marry them. But
He's so strong and interesting, and he travels the world whenever he wants.
Zastrava screams because this is her fault now. She can never let anyone know.
And I'm guessing he didn't take that too well.
I mean, he was really nice about it, I guess. He did tell me I had to ask my parents, which seems weird. I don't think I have to ask them about that.
You
I'm
know
an
why?
adult. I can make my own decisions.
Do you know why he asked? Said that.
No?
You're a royal.
Well, doesn't he have to ask? In all the books, like, they have to go to the parents and ask permission.
Your
That's
parents.
more of a formality, unfortunately. I feel like for royals, everything is arranged behind the scenes. There's a lot of chess going on behind that.
From all the rumors I've heard, yes. And that's not very many.
I wonder if I can give Ty a letter to deliver to Galen when he gets back.
That's some
Well-
good stuff.
How about consider that if you make it back alive?
I mean, I guess I should write 2 letters then. One for if I do make it back alive, and one if I don't. I didn't think about that. Thank you, Shirku.
Shirku
I've
just
used-
face palms at that.
I've usually
Follow-
determined to make it through alive.
Follow the rules of survival and you will be fine. Oh, ask her. You know the animal that I turn into most frequently, the large one, 2 legs, and jumps
Yes.
and shreds. If you see that, you either need to fully commit to running, or don't show your back and try to cover your neck.
So, a neck guard.
She pulls it out and opens, like, goes to write it in. And Zastrava, since you are sitting next to her, you just see the note above that note was, "Oh, I guess we weren't dating."
Strava's just like, oh my god, what did I do? Internally.
They coddled her too much.
They coddle. Oh yeah.
But I just like, I lean down, I whisper in her ear, you know, an Austriana might have some really wonderful Fey princes.
As her kind of drunk.
What? No, people aren't allowed on the island.
Well, an Austriana's
The fairies
gotta
are
be somebody.
banished. No. It's just us and the goddess. And our children.
Who are the knights?
Then we take her to the grove that we made.
And who ride the birds?
The
At
Sky
least-
Knights?
At the very least, we're having these moments before going on to a death-filled island.
Yeah.
No, Shirku, you have the good sense, like I really think that you could really thrive here and be happy.
We'll
Mhm.
see.
We will just have to watch over these three. Mila does a big ol' concerned look. Kitten.
I think you've already been doing that. Looks over at a certain paladin. Who already almost died once.
You just see her. She's looking at her book right now, and Sistrava just sees list of things to look for in princes.
Oh no.
She labels quite a few qualities that the certain captain of the boat has.
She's reached her teen years mentally.
Oh no.
Good luck with the hormones, Z.
Nice.
On to the next day, I
Yep.
guess.
I was about to say. So, as you guys go get some rest, no crazy dreams for anyone. Morning comes and you're all awakened as you hear a waking up and getting up and moving. You guys, whoever's the first up, you all end up seeing that you're no longer 400 feet in the air. Aster is in charge of all the mages today. Gojira is up top. Perception. Who's passive perceptions for everyone?
I have better than 14. Give me one moment.
Passive
Whoa.
perception for Shirku is 16.
9. 9.
9? Oh no.
So anyone who's above a 15 or above, you do see tucked away underneath his outer jacket, you do see a little flower there.
Yeah, 17. So Mila sees it and is very pleased that he enjoys the gift.
But otherwise, he's
She
just
thinks it's a gift, yeah.
looking straight ahead and he pulls the ship to the side and right in front of the fog. Aster comes up and is like, we have a boat ready. It does have a sail, so you won't have to row. We figured that would be a little bit easier for you all.
Ooh.
Yes, it would. Thank you.
Yes.
Careful.
Asper's going to offer Aster a hug before they leave and just goes, "The books that you gave me were wonderful. I think I snuck out and saw a play rendition of the first one, and it was not very good. But the books were very, very good."
Books are the books are always better than the play. But is there anything else we can get you? Anything you need before you go?
I have rations packed. Do you have snacks?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well-
think we're going to be good then.
Yes, and we should get going quickly so they can get back in the air soon. Because even though this is past the line, the Leviathans can be temperamental.
Understood. Okay. Well, I wish you all luck, and you have the way. Did Kai? I think it said Kai gave you the method to contact us, right?
The crystals salute our dead body. Yep.
You won't die. I have faith in you.
I know we won't.
Good luck, though. And
I will.
Hi, Aster.
oh, what were you saying, Strava?
Oh, I will hand her just a letter I wrote to it's just addressed to the dean of the College of Lore, and just pass on and be I'm sure you guys are heading towards the capital, so if
We
you
are.
wouldn't mind, if you get a chance, just pass this along.
Do you mind if
Aster
I?
pulls out 2 books as well.
Do you mind if I'm going to have to open it and read it, if that's okay. We have to make sure that nothing is containing anything about the ship.
Not a problem at all. Just some new songs for them to hopefully incorporate into local taverns.
Oh,
Okay.
the flower! I almost forgotten. Like Mela, like runs and dashes back.
It grabs the flower.
Yeah, and she has a whole like sort of spider web that she has supporting it.
Nice.
And it is much more than just a single flower now. It's a whole like.
You've made it grow out and very nice.
Yes.
Astra helps get you onto the deck of the the smaller ship. And good luck, and I wish you all well. And they lower you guys off of the Nefarion. And you start sailing on into the fog.
Yes.
Is there anything that you guys are doing to avoid detection?
So Mila will like sort of go over and she'll give this like rumbling like under the water. That's like a hello.
And Shirko will use what knowledge that he was taught to help orientate the ship, the rowboats, and have it go the right direction.
Oh yeah.
And it goes back and
Imagining Dory.
it goes back and forth as the Leviathans recognize that you are a friend. I'm assuming is what you're putting through.
Yeah, and so at this point, like Mila will be like mostly off of the boat, like tail and like legs maybe over, but she's mostly under, and you just hear these boongs and maybe like some ripples around the boat with these sea noises.
And for all of you guys, you can only see about 5 feet away from the ship at best. Visibility is not great. After about 2 hours of travel, 2.5 hours of travel, because it does take you guys a little bit longer. It's not as windy of a day. You come on the outside of the other part of the fog wall, finally escaping that. And you're taken aback by having this sight. You see it's a humongous island, like it's continent-sized, fully continent-sized, where you see part of the beach that you guys are approaching. You'd estimate an hour away from it. And quickly it gets to the point with the trees where like they start off about normal size, what you'd expect for a fully grown forest, but it grows and grows as you get closer to, well, Cypher, you'd estimate at the top of it, it's probably about 500 feet, 400 feet at the top of the trees. And you can see part of them are twirling around and like twisted. It's not like the trees are growing straight up. On the outside,
Do we see the seawall?
that's what I was about to describe.
Okay. Nice.
You see, as you guys are approaching, a coral reef that goes in all the way up and around. You can see it circling the entire island. Where the color of the water goes from the deep dark blue of the ocean to a clear color, like you can see perfectly to the ground, seawater. And inside the sea, you see even on that part you see giant monstrosities, as far as you would describe them, floating. Some with long tentacles that just go through and softly float behind it. Some with giant maws that looks like they could swallow your ship and about 50 others in one bite. Just lots of different sea life.
I thought there'd be more than Leviathans out here.
Oh no, some of these are babies.
Esker looks at them again and goes, "That's a child version?
They're all children.
They're very pretty.
Yes.
Scary."
And let's slow down with the seawall.
And
All right.
Mila, you would know that the worst of the leviathans are in the ocean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And with that, her wanting us to slow down, I bring the sail
Pull in the
up.
sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
furl the sail and have it start slowing it down.
Oh, not that rule.
Above in the air, passes above 15 was Mila and Shirku and
17,
Zastrava.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You see a giant, well, you would say bird.
Shadow.
It looks like there's definitely a giant shadow, but you'd say it's like a bird. You're able to see the various colors on it, and riding it, like right next to it, you see a pterodactyl as well. A lot smaller in size. But as it like notices you, he watches the pterodactyl goes above the bird, transforms, and then the bird just starts coming down as you guys are starting to approach the seawall.
Yeah. And Mila will climb up the mast towards the top and bright colors. Sort of looking up, and maybe that gathers Cypher's attention to the incoming talons.
It does. You do watch as it is just diving down, and seeing the bright colors. It seems to slightly alter its descent to where it ends up going through, and you see this giant bird, because it is a bird, giant eagle basically. Just and the water around the boat ripples, and on it is someone who, kind of like how Mila is, the form is like ever changing slightly and is lighter skinned. He seems to go more on the bluish side that would fit well with the sky. He sees everyone there. He looks over.
They're presents for the goddess she sent me to find. And she would be like chirping this out.
Yeah. Why, people? Why are they here?
Because she wanted me to go to the outside world to find friends and a mirror man secret. Oh, I brought her a present too. And Mila's like sort of bouncing cheerful as he's just like still looking at her. And
Did you actually talk to her?
yes, and she told me herself. She wanted me to leave the paradise, and I know.
I will let others know about this. How long have you been gone?
She like thinks it's like she like tries to count on fingers, and it's like many days, and she like indicates like 2 palmfuls, she thinks.
Hamu not going to like this.
I know.
Dari no longer in charge. Hamu in charge.
What did Hamu do? And she's very excited.
He created a bigger than T-Rex, much bigger.
Giga? We got Giga?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes. And Mila seems like inordinately thrilled as she's chirping.
He calls it Vasto. Vastoso.
Fasto? Fasto. Yes.
Named Daimu. He
Daimu.
named it. It's... Dali no longer with.
And she'll like, hang a head for a moment at that.
He's not going to like this. Try and avoid. You never saw a rocket. Never saw. And
I must please the goddess.
you just watch as he flies back up.
Okay.
And then most of that, for all of you, just for chirp, 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 chirp.
Chirpity chirp.
You'll,
Okay.
An experience.
I suppose that they only speak in a single language then.
Can I
Yeah.
try to cast like comprehend language to see if I can understand any of it?
yeah, if you want to
Insight might
cast comprehend languages, that would give you everything.
There we go.
Yeah, when it's an action. Yeah, you understood all of that.
I feel like I didn't. I understood like the words, but I'm still struggling to understand the full context. But I like translated as best as I could to everybody else.
That's basically tribal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if I could get like those names typed out, I would appreciate it.
Will do.
Or at least for Asker's notes and for my notes for future things.
I will get that to you by the end of the
Yeah.
night.
Thanks.
So, yeah, when we get to the island, we'll need you all to be quiet as I lead you over, and Mila like now gets out of the boat and like very gingerly like standing on the reef as it looks like she's like getting ready to sort of pull the boat over this.
Seems best that way anyways. Shirko, I guess, steps out of the boat and waits
Careful,
for
careful. Like she indicates like, you know, stepping gently.
As you guys are on the beach, you do watch as you see a couple of smaller, you see like birds, like a little small weird shapen bird that you know is a dodo. Is just like there's several of them, and then you see like some small cute precious little dinosaurs. Like there's just like one of them. He just
With
is
some nice little frills on the side.
no frills,
Oh no.
just
oh no.
just a compy.
No.
Just
The
as
little
like
ones the size of the hand.
yep.
Alright, and
As
we're gonna
like,
keep moving.
This goes. If there's a lot of those, we have to run very quickly.
He places a hand on Asgar's shoulder. No touch. Keep going.
And so yeah. Oh, and Mila like excitedly like, yeah, it took us thousands of years to build the seawall, and like once you're over, she'll like reach her hands into the water and just like drink and splash, and it's like, ah, yes, it's no longer poisoned. And then she'll continue.
Wait, the water's poisoned?
Yeah, your water's poisoned. You can't feed it to plants or drink it.
She's
I
right.
drank that water my whole life.
Not the water from the
And
ocean.
She points at the ocean
Oh,
water.
the ocean.
Yeah. Your water is poisoned. It took us thousands of years to fix this.
You mean salt water?
Whatever you call it, it's terrible.
You can filter the salt out of it and just purify it through that method. Anyways, let's keep
yeah.
moving.
And yeah, and she'll get you guys over to the shore.
You guys get there? There's some dinos that are around. Most of them are herbivores, mostly. Besides the little compy who's just like, he's staying close to the trees, and looks like he's trying to just get up people's attention and be like,
I'm going to like go up to the little combi and like offer it like a little bit of food. And
Oh no.
no. I'm going to be like, you seem like you would be a good little thing to come along and come with us.
Why do I have this?
what spell is that? I just see a wisdom
oh, sorry.
save.
It's supposed to be animal friendship.
Ah,
Ooh. Nice.
And if there are others around, I can cast it on up to 2 others.
I mean, there's also some dodos and stuff around.
No,
You don't
just
see
I
any
put the compies.
compies.
Just a combi.
Compsognathus.
I suggest saving it in case we run into anything larger.
I've got more. We're good.
I need to check something, because I need to know their wisdom save. Do you know it off the top of your head, Mila?
Can't imagine it'd be more than 10, to be honest with you.
I was hoping it'd
I
be
don't
a
have it on
negative.
this-
Nope,
I don't have it on this computer, I'm sorry.
you're good. He just looks at you like you're doing weird things and meh.
A good meh or happy meh?
Runs away into the forest, like slowly, like it's trying to lure you or get you to follow.
It's
I defer
squeaks.
to Mila.
And then
I'm
it
like,
turns back and squeaks at you.
this thing should be friendly. It's so cute. Is it
No.
dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, one or two of them aren't dangerous. And
And
Mila will like to insight on the compy.
How's your insight?
+4, I believe.
Did you roll?
Not yet. There we go. It should be rolling soon.
It liked the food. It wants a lot more for its friends that aren't too far.
Yeah, no, Zastrava.
yeah,
Ah,
You are
There's
small and
one I
squishy and made of meat.
fine. Let's continue on.
let's keep on this trail. For all we know, everything on this island's trying to get us. Actually,
Oh,
we can think of
yeah.
that. We can think of the entire island as trying to get us.
You,
And so, Shirku is the most sensible here. You three do not leave arm's reach of each other. For you are squishy and made of flesh.
Just like link arms with like Cypher and Asker.
And you can't
I-
climb. You can't even climb trees.
I will take your lead in this place.
And Mila will sort of think on mellow areas to sort
So-
of lead to the more central grove.
okay, and it's gonna take a while to get there. You know that unless you end up getting lucky and Anna coming and finding you, or being out and about and finding you, you know where she likes to be is normally about 3 or 4 weeks travel.
Yep.
So,
I
unless you
like
get
And-
lucky, which is always plausible.
And yeah, Mila's going to point out safe berry bushes and give them over, and keep an eye out for any more intelligent looking dinosaurs
Yeah,
to
Jerk
relay
would
messages.
Shirku would just be on edge for the most part because he's been bored most of
Especially
his
since
time
there's-
on edge.
This huge canopy of lots of leaves and spiraling branches.
So, as you guys go and travel, it's been about 3 hours of travel. How did you all keep water provisions? Water
I
skins?
have 5 days worth of rations.
That's
Let me
food.
check my character sheet.
Because it's a little bit hotter than most of you are used. Because, you're used to dealing with some of the heat in
Butters,
Ashenbrook.
Oh yeah, I have water skin.
Okay.
I have a feeling I
water
do, but
skin.
I need to check
And-
that it's.
Mila's more used to this. But this place is. Whereas,
I do.
there's some heat that you get from Ashenbrook, different layers. This is like a sweltering jungle heat.
This is a wet heat, a humid heat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can't even sweat because you already got dewiness on your skin.
Which causes you to sweat even more anyways.
But the plant and the plant life is very vibrant and colorful, and now you see here, Mila blends in a lot more.
It's like this is her natural habitat or something like that.
I feel like Zastrava would be very happy in this environment. Maybe it's a bit hot for her. She's like, am I supposed to be here?
No, and
How is the walking order?
Mila first, Shirku last, maybe.
yeah, Shirku can be in the last in line just to being the guy who covers the back line.
Thank you for covering our tail, Sharku.
Anytime. I get to stab things that come up behind us. And I really hope we don't get, and we don't have to waste meat, because plenty of meat.
As you get,
If
go ahead.
oh no, if I see something that we can handle, then maybe yeah.
Oh, a wisp pool. Cool.
And as you guys are walking, you do see that everything, like, because you don't get a lot of sun for the most part at the bottom because of how big the trees are, and they get big quick. But you do get a lot of like, fauna that glow, create light, and stuff like that. So nothing, it's dark, but it's not really dark. As you guys approach, you do a little bit more of an opening that Mila's leading to. You guys do see a marvelous little lake. And the highest passive is 19?
17, I think, for perception would be
Okay.
me.
I thought Sharku had a 19 I had heard earlier. Was
16.
16, okay. I had misheard that earlier. Okay.
Just flip around that number.
Deal.
Yep. Why do I feel like a water elemental is going to come out of the lake?
And it's been about 4 or 5 hours since you guys have landed. So it's been a little bit. It's starting to get about the time for rest. But it's still... So it'd probably be about 4 o'clock or so. 5 o'clock. Yeah. But as you guys are venturing on, you find some water. And as you guys keep traveling, heading north, Mila, you end up noticing as you get up to this point that there is something in the water. And-
Mila will whisper for them to slow down, and she'll move forward a little bit, low to the ground, to get a peek.
Make a perception check.
And with her doing that, Shirku would be more wary of what around surroundings.
One moment.
Because he knows survival.
Perception.
Ooh.
Rip.
What was that?
9. It's not a nat 1.
So you don't see it before it fully recognizes that you're here. But you do notice that this is a deeper lake than you thought it was.
Ooh.
So I send that token layer. As you see, it starts to emerge a giant fin on its back, long snout, and on its side of its eye, the left one seems injured, but even though it's like been scratched, you still see like 3 marks on the side, which you would know would mean that this used to be one of Darlee's. As it recognizes that some food has just entered its area.
And I guess you guys just hear a start like.
Give me one moment as I pull
As
something
Mila
out.
puffs up with her feathers.
As out of the water, a Spinosaurus comes to its full height, reaches out for you, sees you all there. Oop. And there we go. That is where we're going to pick up the next time.
Oh boy. That's gonna be fun.
I don't like how far I have to zoom up the map to be able to compare it to us.
It's
That thing is gigantic.
It is huge. Some might
The
say
worst
that.
thing is, I don't think there are any anti-dinosaur spells.
Cypher starts working on that real fast.
I hope it doesn't know the difference between an echo and the real thing.
We'll see. I thank you all for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing what happens next time, now that we're on Dino Island.
Yes.
Bye.